the league versus Caitlin Clark, and that is just absolutely false. It is unfair to the women that have been there building this league to this moment so that Caitlin Clark's popularity could take it to...
The rise of Caitlin Clark in the WNBA has been nothing short of a seismic shift in the landscape of women's basketball. Her meteoric ascent from college standout to professional superstar has sparked fiery debates, polarized opinions, and a whirlwind of media attention. On our YouTube channel, we've been diving deep into the phenomenon that is Caitlin Clark, unpacking the controversies, the records, and the undeniable impact she's had on the league. Today, we're breaking down the narrative surrounding Clark's dominance, the pushback from analysts, and why her story is reshaping the WNBA's future. The spark of a new era Caitlin Clark didn't just step into the WNBA, she stormed in, bringing with her a tidal wave of attention that the league hadn't seen in years. Her rookie season with the Indiana Fever was a masterclass in defying expectations. From shattering assist records to rewriting the history books with her scoring prowess, Clark has proven herself a generational talent. But her journey hasn't been without its detractors.
We're at this level. Don't do that.
Guys.
Nobody wants Monica. You making Stephen A. point, Monica. Monica, you making Stephen A.
Some analysts have argued that her spotlight overshadows the contributions of other players who've been grinding in the league for years. On our YouTube channel, we believe that while the WNBA's veterans deserve their flowers, dismissing Clark's impact is not only unfair, but misses the bigger picture. The narrative that Clark's popularity somehow diminishes the work of those who came before her is a tired one. Years ago, women's basketball didn't command the kind of mainstream attention it does now. Clark's arrival has elevated the league's visibility, drawing in new fans and filling arenas. To suggest that her success takes away from the league's pioneers is to ignore how her star power is building on their foundation. As we've said on our YouTube channel, Caitlin Clark isn't stealing the spotlight. She's amplifying it, shining a light on the entire WNBA, the ESPN battleground, analysts versus...
Lots of folks that don't think she is praised enough and she is above reproach in terms of criticism, or that praising another player is an affront to her is like, whoa, bro.
Clark, the debate over Caitlin Clark's place in the WNBA has turned ESPN studios into a verbal coliseum. Analysts like Monica McNutt and Molly Querim have found themselves at the center of heated discussions about Clark's impact, often drawing criticism for their reluctance to fully embrace her brilliance. On our YouTube channel, we've been following these exchanges closely, and it's clear that Clark's rise has exposed some uncomfortable truths about how the media covers women's basketball. Monica McNutt, a respected voice in basketball commentary, initially threw her support behind Chicago Sky rookie Angel Reese for the WNBA Rookie of the Year award. McNutt's reasoning was rooted in team success. She pointed to the Sky's stronger standing in the playoff race compared to the Indiana Fever's struggles. At the time, it seemed like a defensible stance. Reese was delivering double-doubles with remarkable consistency, showcasing her rebounding prowess and defensive tenacity. Meanwhile, Clark's Fever were languishing near the bottom of the standings, despite her individual brilliance. But as the season progressed, Clark's dominance became impossible to ignore.
With your platform, you could have been doing this 3 years ago if you wanted to.
All right, we gotta go.
Stephen, I'm talking to you.
Wow.
Don't do that. I'm talking to you about the power that you have.
Really appreciate
my girl.
Her ability to orchestrate the Fever's offense, combined with her long-range shooting and clutch performances, forced even her skeptics to reconsider. On our YouTube channel, we highlighted a pivotal moment when McNutt, during an ESPN broadcast, acknowledged Clark's brilliance. Caitlin is helping to grow the league, McNutt admitted, though she couldn't resist adding a caveat. She cannot be babied as a rookie. It was a begrudging nod to Clark's impact, laced with a reminder that the WNBA's physicality demands resilience. McNutt's shift in perspective wasn't just about Clark's stats, though those were staggering. Clark led the league in assists, broke records for three-pointers made, and became the first player in WNBA history to lead in assists, while ranking in the top 10 for points in a single season. Her leadership transformed the Fever from a perennial underdog into a team that commanded attention.
Literally cashed in, but her attention, her notoriety is based off Caitlin Clark. She wins the national title, first thing she does, she mocks Caitlin Clark. And then she doesn't even...
Yet McNutt's comments carried a subtle jab, as if acknowledging Clark's greatness required a disclaimer. On our YouTube channel, we called this out. Clark doesn't need to be babied, she's already proving she can hang with the best. Molly Querim, another prominent ESPN voice, took a different approach, one that frustrated fans even more. Querim seemed determined to steer conversations away from Clark, even when her record-breaking performances were the talk of the town. When Clark surpassed Alyssa Thomas's assist record, a milestone that should have dominated headlines, Querim quickly pivoted to spotlight other players, emphasizing the contributions of WNBA veterans. "There were a lot of people that laid the groundwork that deserve shine as well," she said, almost as if Clark's achievement was a distraction. On our YouTube channel, we dissected this moment. Querim's reluctance to celebrate Clark felt forced, as if she was trying to balance the narrative at the
celebrate with her teammates. So she's made it personal with Caitlin Clark. Then she's played off of that. Even Caitlin Clark getting knocked down in that game on Saturday, who's standing up applauding but Angel Reese?
Amid the ESPN debates, Stephen A. Smith emerged as one of Clark's staunchest defenders. Known for his bold opinions and unapologetic delivery, Smith didn't hold back when it came to the Caitlin Clark conversation. On our YouTube channel, we've praised Smith for cutting through the noise and focusing on what matters, Clark's game. Unlike Querim, who seemed hesitant to give Clark her due, Smith was unequivocal in his support. Smith also weighed in on the budding rivalry between Clark and Angel Reese, a narrative that captivated fans throughout the season. He argued that the rivalry was largely one-sided, driven by Reese and her camp rather than Clark. "Remember when you were waving your hand in Caitlin Clark's face when you were beating her for the national championship?" Smith said, referencing Reese's taunting gesture during the 2023 NCAA title game. For Smith, Reese's actions, both on and off the court, seemed designed to keep the rivalry alive, even as Clark focused on her game.
A lot of people that laid the groundwork that deserve shine as well. Here's what we're going to do.
Are they playing now?
Here's what we're
Are they
going to do.
playing now?
We don't have Andrea.
Remember, you got to.
On our YouTube channel, we explored this dynamic in depth. Reese, a charismatic and talented player in her own right, leaned into the competitive tension, especially after her wrist injury sidelined her for the season's final stretch. Unable to contribute on the court, Reese stayed in the headlines by engaging with the Clark narrative, whether through social media or public comments. Meanwhile, Clark remained laser-focused, letting her performances speak for themselves. As we noted on our YouTube channel, this contrast highlighted Clark's maturity. She didn't need to engage in the drama to stay relevant. Smith also addressed the criticism that Clark's popularity was solely due to her fan base, a claim pushed by Querim and others. "Caitlin Clark is the real deal," Smith declared, pointing to her record-breaking stats and her ability to impact games night after night. On our YouTube channel, we echoed this sentiment. Clark's fans aren't just cheering for a celebrity, they're witnessing a player who's rewriting the WNBA's record books as a rookie.
Going to be dogged by better defenders one-on-one, and of course on the defensive end, she's got to go play defense. So I'm not sure what the scheme will be to protect her, because nobody has talked about her as a defender.
To dismiss her as a fan favorite is to ignore the evidence. Clark is a superstar, plain and simple. Gino Arimas' misstep, another prominent figure who initially doubted Clark's ability to thrive in the WNBA, was UConn coaching legend Gino Arimas. Before Clark even played her first professional game, Arimas questioned whether she could handle the league's physicality and pace. "I'm not sure what the scheme will be to protect her," he said, suggesting that Clark might struggle against the WNBA's elite defenders. He even implied that the Indiana Fever weren't the right fit for her skill set, a comment that raised eyebrows. On our YouTube channel, we called Arimas' skepticism premature. Clark had already proven her resilience in college, leading Iowa to back-to-back Final Four appearances and torching defenses with her scoring and playmaking. The idea that she couldn't handle the WNBA's physicality seemed like a stretch, especially given her competitive fire. Sure enough, Clark silenced her doubters from the opening tip. She didn't just survive the WNBA's intensity, she thrived in it, breaking records and earning the respect of her peers. Ariama's comments began to look increasingly out of touch as Clark's rookie campaign unfolded. Her ability to navigate double teams, absorb contact, and still deliver jaw-dropping performances proved that she was more than ready for the professional stage. On our YouTube channel, we highlighted a game against the Washington Mystics where Clark dropped 35 points and dished out 12 assists, leading the Fever to a franchise record 110 points. It was a statement performance, one that left Ariama's doubts in the dust. By the end of the season, even Arimas had to concede that Clark had exceeded expectations. "She's proven me wrong," he admitted, a rare moment of humility from a coach known for his confidence. On our YouTube channel, we celebrated this turnaround, noting that Clark's ability to change minds is a testament to her work ethic and talent. She didn't just prove Auriemma wrong, she proved she belongs among the WNBA's elite. The Clark effect. A global sensation, Caitlin Clark's impact extends far beyond the stat sheet.
Let's be real. I literally played on my ankle like a golf ball, like a little golf ball when we played against Iowa. And
her electrifying style of play, logo threes, no-look passes, and clutch heroics has made her a global sensation. On our YouTube channel, we've shared stories from fans who've witnessed the Clark effect firsthand. At a Fever game in Washington, D.C., the arena was a sea of no. 22 jerseys with fans of all ages chanting her name. It might as well have been a home game for Caitlin Clark, one attendee told us, a sentiment we echoed on our channel. Clark's ability to draw crowds has been a game changer for the WNBA. Ticket sales have soared, television ratings have spiked, and arenas that once struggled to fill seats are now packed to the rafters. On our YouTube channel, we've emphasized that this isn't just about Clark's individual success. It's
like pain, you know, I've heard when like I can't play. Like they don't have to tell me like you shut down, like you can't play. That's what they was telling me yesterday. Like you shut down, like you can't.